hands together for Mr. Kevin Richardson from the Exonerated. Wow. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. All right. You know something? Watching that still give me chills, man, because that's my life. And standing here today, looking at this crowd, I see me. You guys are a reflection of me, of what I've been through. And looking at you, I can see where you're going. I want to reflect on this paper right here, because I look, can y'all hear me? All right. This morning, but I'm okay. I like this title, 4 C's. Career. In life. Whatever you're doing, you want to have a career, which is like your building block to move on in life. Because with that, you could go on and proceed to do what you want to do in life. Back in 1989, I lost that. I know I didn't commit the crime, and I thought that, like I mentioned in this film, that I might die in prison. And with the grace of God, not to speak about me and my God, but I respect everyone's religion, whether it's Islamic, heck, whether you're an atheist. But for me, it was God himself that pulled me through this. And because of that, he had made me have a career, to become a public speaker, to inspire people, to aspire to inspire. And trust me, guys, I've been there at school. I was one of those kids that was shy, that sat in the back of the class, was very intelligent, was afraid to speak my truth. But that's all done now. Because of God, he gave me the career to do what I'm doing now. Because of Syracuse University, they gave me a career. They named a scholarship after me called the Kevin Richardson Scholarship Fund, which represents people that look like me with unmet financial needs. Not just me, even other people that's not of my race. It's for everyone. But the people that know where I came from in my New York City and Harlem. Because of Syracuse, I was blessed to graduate with an honorary undergraduate degree just 2 years ago. The first one, thank you. I'm not one to really speak about accolades and achievements, but when you achieve something like that, you should be proud of it. Because of that, you know, I was the first in the school's 151 years history to do that. Now because of that, now because of my career, I'm able to provide, as a dad, for my kids, for my 2 girls, Jasmine and Jayla. Character. You have to have character to go through what I went through. To go through this ordeal that myself and my family went through. God builds your character. And I have a phrase I used to always say to people. When you're in your mother's womb, right? Follow me with this. You are molded to be the person that you are today. When you're in your mother's womb, she forms you and holds you for 9 months, and when you come out, you become who you are. It's already instilled in you from the beginning. You just have to follow that. You have to follow your character and stand for what you believe in. You know, when I'm up here speaking, it's not a list that I look at. I'm looking at this. But I speak from the heart. And when I see you guys, I see you. So I wear my emotions on my sleeve. And because of everything that we went through in 1989, everything you've seen and when they see us, It's true. My family, my sister, Angie, she's here right now as well, which was them when they see us as well too. My family built my character. Growing up in New York City as the only boy, the youngest of 5 kids, 4 sisters. Yeah, 4 sisters, y'all. And I was the youngest. But being in the household with those women, those strong black women, they molded me who I am today. They molded my character. They built me to have a career that I have today. College. College is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to go on in life and keep moving forward your dreams. When I was younger, I'm still young, but when I was 14 years old, 15, 16 years old, respectively, I dreamed of going to Syracuse University. Because back then it was called the Big East. That's for the old heads. When I followed people such as the great Pearl Washington, Derrick Coleman, Billy Owens, Carmelo Anthony. It's amazing that I've been blessed to call those people my friends now. And go to college and be on the campus and rub shoulders with them, but also see that I can inspire a generation. I really didn't know the power that I had. And not power as far as being strong, for the power of your mind. Because your intellect is your strongest weapon. Once you have that, they cannot take that away from you. So as time went on, I wanted to go to college. And I achieved that. I graduated in 2021. And there's a beautiful thing because my kids was there to see it. My 15-year-old daughter, which will be going to Syracuse in the next 3 years, off the Kevin Richardson Scholarship Fund. And all requirements is for you to do some social work. And you have to have a 3.0. But even if you don't have a 3.0, my team will meet you at 2.5 and help you elevate yourself up and shoot for the stars and keep going for that. So college is very beneficial. And I know others might be here and they might not want to go to college. But find your path and go with that. Courage. Gotta leave this one. Courage. Come on. People often ask me, and my brothers, the other 4 of the Exonerated 5, Kevin, how did you have the courage to go through that? And at the time I didn't know, I just knew that I had to go through it. I had to get the courage to survive what I've been through. There's nobody, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And I'm going to take you a little bit of history back to 1989. 1989 was a rough year. During that time, there was many crimes in a decade. There was a lot of racial injustices that happened during that time. That still happens to this day. But being young and naive, learning firsthand how it is to be arrested for something you didn't commit, for a crime you didn't commit. Going through that where our faces was plastered all over the newspapers, all over TV, for people calling, this is old, this thing they call the yellow pages. Y'all know what that is, right? It's yellow pages for something where they look and find your number. And they find my mother's number at the time, 212-876-4641. They used to call my mother and say, your son deserved to be castrated, and hang up the phone. Then they would call again and say, the five, of the Central Park Five, the eldest should be hung from a tree in Central Park, while the other four will be horsewhipped. And this was rhetoric that was being used in 1989. And this goes back to even the 50s, 60s, even the Jim Crow era. These things that I'm saying to you, I know it might be, you don't know what I'm saying, but I advise you to Google and find out about it. And that's what we do now, right? We Google. So Google it about something that's going to be beneficial for you. Google something that will help you navigate in life. And I remember that time where going to court, going to trial, at the time I didn't really understand the impact of it, but I knew that we were innocent of the crime. And when we went to court, we said we're not guilty. Little did I know that I would receive 5 to 10 years in prison and do 7 out of the 10 years. I was the youngest of the 5, the right age of 14. How many people are 14 in this crowd? 15, 16. Yeah. Those were the ages that we were. Instead of enjoying life that you guys have now, enjoying the fruits of life, we were in a prison cell, watching each year go by, wondering, when will I ever get out? But because of courage, because of I had a career, because of learning that this too shall pass. And my mother always instilled that in me, this too shall pass. And at the time I was your age, and I said, okay, Mom, well, I'm here, I'm in prison. She said, boy, because she's from the South, don't you ever question the man who says. I said, yes, ma'am. And went on with my life. But all that to say that even if you hit with the harshest times like I have, and this might sound cliche, but it's the truth, that is indeed a light at the end of the tunnel. And people say that, but I can tell you that when I was in prison, I've seen the light. Being in the dark cell for 7 years, I've seen the light. And that light was my children that I have now. That light was to inspire everyone that's here today. You know, I've been blessed to speak on many platforms, but when it's speaking to young men, it hits me different. It hits me different because I've been there and I know what it's like. I know what it is to go through things. I understand. Well, I got a question. How many people sing when they see us? Okay, so I'm gonna offer y'all a little bit of homework. All right. That I advise y'all to see when they see us. It's on Netflix, y'all. Y'all know what Netflix is? Go on Netflix and stroll to that. Because I think it was something that you will benefit from, y'all. To see what we've been through. And to see what people are still going through to this day. Now standing here, I was very pleased to come to here. First of all, I'm from Harlem, I'm from New York. Whenever I get a chance to speak to kids that's in my background, it's a blessing to me, because I'm inspired as well. So whatever you're doing in life, whatever you want to do, keep pushing forward. When I was growing basketball, when I was in the 80s, it's a phrase we used to say, each one teach one. Whatever you learn from the person, pass it to the next. And I've always been a person of wanting to learn new things, being a sponge of knowledge. When I was younger, I played basketball. I was pretty good too. I played for this place called the Gachos in New York. I played for the place called Millbank Kingdom Tournament in Harlem. And from that, I learned discipline. And not the discipline that you think that you're being ridiculed for, but it shows you how to navigate as a young man through obstacles. And that's what we did. I know someone mentioned earlier that we're born with a purpose, right? And I always say, you wasn't born on a purpose, but you was born with a purpose. Everyone has a purpose. My purpose is that myself and my guys, my brothers, and our families had to go through this ordeal. Did I want to? No. Did I want to go to prison? No. But because of that, it made me the man I am today. To learn that and grow from it. And now because of that, I am able to do what I'm doing now and speaking to others about my situation. It wasn't always easy to speak about what I've been through. Quite honestly, wish I probably shouldn't have felt this, but at the time I felt ashamed to speak about this because of the magnitude of being labeled as a sex offender in New York City. Being, I'm sure some of the police officers know, when you go to prison, two things, you don't want to go to prison, first of all, but when you go to prison and you're labeled as a sex offender, it's different, or a child molester. It's a different situation. So when I went into prison, I had to learn how to grow up fast, man. I was 14, when I finally went to prison, I was 16 years old. And I learned how to grow up right in front of me because of the surroundings. And all of that built my character to do what I'm doing now, to have on-the-job training, to go through that and come out a survivor, to come out an overcomer. You might see me and I'm well put together, but myself and my brothers, we have these indelible scars that you cannot see. And these things can't go away. But because of that, I learned to overcome that. I learned to achieve my goals and inspire people like I'm doing now. It wasn't easy speaking about going to prison, being one of the Central Park Five. In the 1980s, it wasn't cool. But now, because of that, we wore that like a badge of honor, and we reversed it. And now we're the exonerated five. Because the word exoneration is to be free from what you've been going through. And everything that you do, exonerate is to be free. So whatever you're going through, to be free of whatever's happening to you. If you're going through something in your household, to be free of that. If something that you're going through that you want to speak to somebody about, exonerate yourself from it, to be free from it. That's something that you should hold on to. I remember being released in 1997. When I first came out of prison, I felt different, right? Not only because I was grown, I went in 16 years old, and I came out 23 years old. So I missed all those years that was taken away from me. But I learned how to continue my life and be beneficial for what I've been through. I like it. In closing, when you leave from here, first of all, look at when they see us. Please watch it, because it benefits everybody about everything that we've been through in life, and where we still need to go, because not too many things have changed since then. But now it's my due diligence to fight for others. When I teamed up with the Innocence Project, which is a nonprofit organization, is to help people that's in prison that need help to come out of prison. It's a nonprofit. It's all about giving and helping out others, you know. Now I'm doing that, you know, my daughter often tells me, Dad, you talk too much. You know what, I'm glad I do, because once upon a time, that was stripped from me. When I was in prison, we didn't have a voice. Actually, I had a number, 958-7047. What does that mean? In 1995, I was a 7,047 person in 1995 to go to prison. So in prison, you're just a number. So in closing, I just want to tell you that keep moving towards your dreams. Be blessed. I'm thankful for y'all having me and being part of this conversation. Later on, I will be speaking to other kids in another room so we can do some Q&A, questions and answers, so we can get more into depth about our conversation. If you ask me anything you want, and I'll see you later. Thank you so much.